I never imagined my own sister could go this far. One day, I discovered she had been quietly trying to claim my wealth as family property, acting like everything I worked for belonged to her. At first, I thought it was a misunderstanding, but the deeper I dug, the clearer it became. This was a deliberate attempt to take what was mine. Shock, anger, and betrayal hit me all at once. I couldn't believe someone I grew up with, someone I trusted completely, would turn against me for money. But I knew one thing: I wasn't going to let her win. It all started when I received an unexpected letter from a lawyer. My sister had filed a claim suggesting that the assets I had accumulated over the years were actually family property. I reread the letter a dozen times, thinking my eyes were deceiving me. How could she? How could she turn our shared childhood, our bond, into some legal justification to take my money? At first, I confronted her, hoping it was just a misunderstanding. I asked calmly why she thought she had a right to my wealth, but she laughed it off, saying, "It's family, I deserve a share." I was stunned. I had sacrificed years, worked tirelessly, and built everything from scratch. And now, she claimed it was hers by default because we were siblings. The betrayal cut deeper than the money itself. It wasn't just about finances, it was about trust, loyalty, and family. I realized that I had to act, not just to protect my wealth, but to teach her that entitlement and greed could never replace respect. The thought of taking her to court was daunting, but staying silent would mean losing everything. This was no longer just about money, it was about justice, pride, and showing that betrayal has consequences. Taking your own sibling to court is something no one wants to imagine. But as I prepared the evidence, the reality of the situation became clear. She wasn't just asking for advice or claiming misunderstanding, she had meticulously gathered documents, made false claims about family contributions, and even tried to twist my generosity into shared ownership. I hired a lawyer, one who specialized in family property disputes. Every meeting felt surreal. I would sit in the office, staring at the papers, feeling a mix of anger and sadness. How had it come to this? My lawyer reassured me that the law was on my side, but the emotional weight of confronting my own sister was heavier than I expected. The court proceedings were tense. She presented her arguments, trying to appeal to sentiment, saying our parents would have wanted her to have a share. She painted herself as the wronged sibling, using phrases meant to tug at the heart. But the evidence was undeniable. The assets were mine, earned independently, documented carefully, and clearly separated from family holdings. Every time she made a claim, I felt the anger rise, but I stayed composed. When it finally came to my turn, I spoke calmly, detailing my work, my sacrifices, and the steps I had taken to ensure everything was legally mine. I didn't shout, I didn't beg. I simply presented the truth. Watching her reaction in court, the smug confidence fading from her face, was oddly satisfying. The courtroom became more than just a place for legal decisions, it became a stage for justice. And I knew, deep down, the verdict would finally reflect the truth. The day of the verdict was tense beyond words. My sister sat across from me, her expression a mix of arrogance and anxiety. I could see her gripping the chair, trying to mask her fear. The judge entered, and the room fell silent. Every heartbeat felt amplified. When the verdict was read, relief and vindication washed over me. The court completely rejected her claim. Every word confirmed what I already knew: my sister had no right to my wealth, and her attempts to claim it were baseless. She tried to protest, but the judge's firm tone left no room for argument. It was over, justice had been served. Seeing her reaction was almost surreal. The confidence that had carried her into court crumbled into disbelief. There was no smirk, no charm, no manipulation left, just the bitter taste of defeat. I couldn't help but feel a sense of quiet triumph. This wasn't about gloating, it was about proving that honesty, hard work, and integrity ultimately prevail. After the court session, I took a moment to reflect. This experience taught me a painful but valuable lesson: family doesn't always mean loyalty. Trust can be broken, and entitlement can blind even those closest to us. But the fight for what's right, even when it's painful, is always worth it. My wealth wasn't just money, it was the symbol of every late night, every sacrifice, and every challenge I overcame. Protecting it wasn't selfish, it was necessary. Even now, months later, my sister's behavior has changed. She's quieter, more cautious, and perhaps even humbled. The family dynamic will never be the same, but that's a small price to pay for justice. I've reclaimed not just my wealth, but my peace of mind, and the knowledge that standing firm against betrayal is the only way to protect yourself from those who think entitlement trumps effort. Looking back, I realize that this experience shaped me in ways I never expected. It tested my patience, my resilience, and my ability to face betrayal without losing my composure. I learned that family ties don't automatically guarantee respect, and that entitlement can sometimes blind people to morality. But most importantly, I learned the value of standing up for yourself. It's not always easy to confront someone you love, even when they are wrong. But ignoring injustice only emboldens those who seek to take advantage. The court case was more than just a legal battle, it was a lesson in self-respect, boundaries, and accountability. I don't wish bitterness or revenge upon anyone, but I do believe that people need to understand consequences. My sister's attempt to claim my wealth was a harsh reminder that entitlement can lead to shame, and betrayal can lead to loss. By facing the situation head-on, I not only protected what I had earned but also sent a message: hard work, honesty, and perseverance cannot be undermined by greed. Now, every time I reflect on this ordeal, I feel a mixture of sadness and pride. Sadness for the betrayal, yes, but pride in my strength to overcome it. The wealth is mine, legally and emotionally, but more importantly, I proved to myself that no one, not even family, can take away the value of what I have worked for. And that, above all, is the real victory.